Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Scott Bell, film and TV composer. I guess that's what everyone's going to say. I don't need to say that here, do I? I've done the music for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 and 2. It says hold for applause. I've done NBC. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I've done an NBC show called Home Sweet Home for Ava DuVernay. For me, it was the 2-disc soundtrack of Forrest Gump, which mostly had like Bob Dylan tracks and songs from the decades. But the last track on the last disc was a suite of score themes from Alan Silvestri's original score. And I just remember, I think everyone probably had a similar experience of just like your brain lighting up when you hear that piece of music that's like, whoa, and this is something that I could make myself. And so I had this stereo, and I took my stereo out of my bedroom and brought it down to our upright piano, and I was like 8 years old. I just like tried to learn it by ear. So that was that. Forrest Gump, not the answer that most you'd expect. Yeah, my first gig was I was at university in southeastern Virginia for composition and music theory. And my professor sent me an email and he said, hey, somebody reached out to me. They said they found you on MySpace. And they were wondering if you could score their thesis, documentary film. And even though I was going to school for composition, I had no idea, it wasn't the type of composing that we all do now with DAWs. It was like notation, and then everything, all my experience of writing music up to that point was having it performed on stage and then nobody ever hearing it again. Anyways, it was a movie about crab fishing in the Chesapeake Bay, and they found me on MySpace.
Nice.
I think I just like to start talking about the narrative, the structure, the characters, the tone, the general tone. I don't really want to talk about, should we use pianos or violins? I don't want to talk about that at all. I just want to talk with my directors and maybe the writer after I've read the script or seen a cut of the film, rough cut or whatever. I just want to talk about tone and intention and character and stuff like that. And then go from there and kind of let that marinate inside of me to get ideas about what kind of palette I want to start and create. But yeah, I want to hear from everyone else. I think in terms of if I have a stamp or a style, it's that I like to play as many instruments on the score as possible. I really like to deliver a real visceral, authentic sound to these filmmakers, and they're normally really grateful for it. So, but I'm not very good at violin, and I'm not very good at cello. So I think because I suck at those instruments, I think it has a unique quality to my music, which isn't something, I guess, that's not a selling point as a musician. But it sounds like when I play the violin and I layer myself 16 times, there's a wildness to it because I'm not a classically trained violinist. In terms of things that I don't do, I don't think I couldn't think of anything just now that I wouldn't do, because especially for horror, I feel like even if it's been played before, you can do it in a new way. There's nothing that's off the table, filing cabinets and stuff like that. There's no rules for horror, which is why it's so much fun. I think it depends. For Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I had to go to some really dark places. I'm just kidding. No, those were really fun. Deep in the 100-acre wood. No, that was more fun. But there have been some projects that took me. I did a short film, a 30-minute short film about a real missing persons case, and I felt this enormous responsibility because those 3 women had still not been found, and I don't know. I just took it really seriously, and I needed to take a week and a half off afterwards and kind of just how do I come back to myself? But that doesn't happen on every picture. I listen to a lot of ASMR at the end of the day to decompress and go to sleep. That's what I'll say. I think the thing I wish filmmakers, I think a lot of filmmakers already know this, but I think I wish they would embrace it more with all of post-production, not just composers, is that we're like a test audience for your movie. Like we are seeing, you have been working on this movie for years sometimes, especially if you're the writer and director. It is so close to it that when you bring a sound designer on or, re-record, well, probably re-recording mixers a little late, but definitely composers and editors, I feel like we are seeing your movie for the first time and in a way that might breathe new life into it. Like a scene that you might not have intended to be humorous and didn't know was humorous, we could help turn humorous in a good way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of wish that. I think most directors know that we're a test audience, because I get a lot of questions like, what do you think of this scene or what do you think of that scene? But I wish it could be explored more.